We are live.
And we are live. Sorry, folks, a couple of minutes late tonight. I hope folks actually hung in there for us. You know how the technical difficulties go. Going a little old school tonight, huh?
Yeah, baby.
And now it's the Blast Special Edition. Here live.
Technical difficulties.
Amy
Yeah.
Laviolette has joined the conversation. What an interesting evening we have ahead.
Let's get ready to
Rumble! Never.
No. Well, tonight we're not.
Of course not. Welcome to the special edition of The Blast. Amy, hi.
Yes, John. How are you?
I'm good. Well, you know what? I got to tell you, tonight's party atmosphere is probably dampened by today's events. I would say that.
Whoa, wait a minute. When we were like getting ready to start, Brett was all giddy and happy because it was fortuitous that we didn't do the show last night because an event happened today that we get to talk about. He was
I
happy about that.
I agree. Now, I stand by that statement. It is kind of fortuitous that we did not come on last night, that here we are tonight, because we are going to talk about a current event that we have an event like this that we've discussed. We've discussed this issue, and I talk about it as an issue overall.
Yeah, but you just said that the spirits were dampened, and yet before we went on air, you were giddy and happy.
Listen, I don't.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, and I just, hey, people died, yay, that's great. No, it's not what I'm saying. I just thought it was fortuitous that we had a no-show last night, and we were doing a subsequent show this evening, and I think it's, in a weird way, it's kind of
fortuitous.
Fortuitous, yeah. Let's use the word again.
Fortuitous.
Fortuitous.
Yeah.
Fortuitous.
Just for shits and giggles, because we always try to practice while we're on the show, but I'm not going to practice while we're on the show.
No, we would never do that.
I signed up for something called Uber Conference, which will allow us to actually take phone calls. And that phone number that's on there that I'm going to leave small for now because I don't know how to use it yet.
We're working on that.
Nothing's ever as easy as it
show.
Sounds like it's supposed to be, or when they're selling you the system.
Exactly.
Sure, make
Excuse
it
me,
sound good.
James. You're going to be in trouble.
Why?
Your daughter Crystal said she didn't get an invite, and she wants an invite.
Oh,
I just did it again.
word.
I'll let her know.
Tell her I just invited her again.
Oh, she's. Oh wait.
I'll let her know.
Hold on. You know what? Hold on. I just got a text from her. She said, "Sorry, taking the boys swimming. Never mind."
Ah.
So. Oh, that Hawaii living! I got to tell you, it just messes everything up. All right, so here we are today. This is an interesting evening, and I have no. I mean, Jim, I don't know if you, Amy, how do we start this one? This is a weird night.
You know, when I first heard that the first rumor was that he was asking about religion.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any doubt in anyone's mind?
It's mind-blowing is what that is.
But, it could very well be an atheist, but then they come out with this chubby white kid who supposedly is posting stuff about this thing called beta.
Right.
Beta blockers.
Beta.
No, alpha beta.
No. Beta.
Carotene, beta carotene, beta protein.
No, it's not. No, it's not
Guys,
that.
it's
No.
not. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. They're posting something about beta, like this group beta,
Fish.
and it's about all. Hi, Crystal.
Good evening, Crystal. Welcome to the blast tonight.
Oh yeah, we can hear you now.
There
No.
we go. Oh, there we are.
Sorry I'm late, folks.
No, that's
No
fine. You probably
problem.
No
haven't.
problem.
You probably
Hey,
haven't
so-
received the.
Your father, all your father's been doing is cutting me off, so it's okay, Crystal. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now
Figures, right?
she's talking about this kid, the shooter, and it was some sort of beta group. What was it, Amy?
It's a group that talks about how all the alpha males get all the women, so the beta, fat, ugly, pimply kids want to unite and go out and shoot all the good-looking people, basically, the ones who get laid.
Now,
So,
are you
that's-
saying, Amy, that
that's-
he
that's
was
what
supposed to be a
that's-
part of it?
Supposedly, that's the first person they said was the first suspect.
So were
and-
only good-looking boys shot then?
No, well, good-looking people, I guess, alphas.
Oh,
Actually,
that
the
was-
ones. Go ahead.
are
No,
there
so
any
that's-
good-looking
that
people
was-
in
That was
Roseburg?
the original. That was the original person that the rumors said that was the shooter. But then it quickly came out that there's another Muslim guy who is also a suspect. So
Now, as
I'm banking on the Muslim. But go ahead.
it's been
Mhm.
spelled, I think, a little bit that beta aspect of it. Although true, I mean, in some respect, it's like I don't know that that's the situation here. From what I
That's
heard
definitely-
today, we're going to get into it. I think if Jim and everybody here will give me a minute, I mean, not yet, but I mean, give me a minute to flow through some stuff I heard today. I had some stuff that kind of freaked me out while I was in my car. This was moments after they went live with the breaking report and the mishmash.
Brett called me today, and he wanted to come on in character as a depressed white guy. And I said,
I
no,
never
you're not gonna.
said that. No, I never. No, that no.
He-
Listen.
he
You mean he wanted to come
as a
in his
beta.
normal character?
Right,
Yeah, he
exactly.
wanted to
No,
come in as-
Crystal's
a
got it.
beta.
I'm sorry,
So
she's
he wanted
right.
to come regular, Brett.
Right. I'm taking off the glasses
Wanted
tonight.
to come as Brett.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay
I mean-
inside my confident brain.
Your dark
Yeah, no.
room. You clearly are depressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can't afford the electricity. With the
Yeah.
my comments always get me in so much trouble. I can't find work.
Now, earlier
So-
today, though, Amy posted, I think it was you, Amy, that posted a picture of the white kid, and then in the same thread, was it you or somebody else posted a picture of the Muslim-looking guy?
Conflicting stories, conflicting images, conflicting stories, which is what you get in all of these situations because the narrative has not been defined yet, and that is how these work.
So
Well,
when,
the narrative has not been defined, but I don't believe in coincidence. I've said it all along. I do
I
not
agree with you.
believe in coincidence, and it just so happens that is the school that one of the heroes from the French train terrorist attack, he goes there, and his stepmother works there.
well, wait, the guy who's
No
on
way.
Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
No. Guy Dancing with the Stars. What are you talking about? The guy
He's
who
from
on
Workin.
the French train, train where there was a terrorist attack. One of the guys who killed the Muslim terrorist.
Yes, he is. They have him now on Dancing
Oh, he's on
with
now.
the Stars.
I have no idea. I don't watch that show.
Yeah,
but-
and he's with,
I would never know.
Well, I don't
I
know.
would
There's
never
three
know.
of them, so I don't know
No, there
which
was
which one is on this Dancing with the Stars. But one of them who was in that attack that thwarted the terrorist attack goes to school there, and his stepmother works there.
Ah.
You may believe in
Wow.
coincidence. I don't.
Listen, by the
And
way,
I
tonight-
think not.
if
Wait.
that is in fact true,
It is true.
But it is. He was on TV. He's been on
Yes.
O'Reilly. He's been on Greta.
Now-
He's been on.
Here's the thing. He's the young, good-looking guy, right? A lot of hair. He's,
I don't
right?
know. I have to look up his name. I don't know.
Okay.
Out of the three, I'm not sure which one it is.
Tonight I'm watching O'Reilly when I get home, and he comes on at 5 p.m. Pacific time here. So this is about 5 or 6 hours after the shooter was dead. And he interviewed a woman who is the editor of the Roseburg newspaper and whose husband owns it. And she repeatedly said, We cannot believe that they have not released the shooter's name since he's been dead for 6 hours.
Mhm.
This is, her words, unprecedented.
Now, by the way, let's look at all of these past incidents that have been, nationwide drama, such as this one. And I'm not, listen, I don't mean to discount anything that's gone on today. I don't. People did die, and I do believe that. However, do I think there's a bigger agenda? Yes, I do. And I will say this. The fact that, we knew everything about the kid that shot up Sandy Hook within a half hour.
Right.
We knew he had a mom that was divorced and had a gun in the house, and he stole it from there. And they altered a little bit of the story as the details came out, but we knew so much. We knew the name, we knew the issue, we knew where. All of it was out there. This one isn't. This is weird. And if you aren't smart enough to call bullshit,
FBI, everybody who's been involved with this thing, they have already gone through that kid's computer inside and out. They know everything about him. And it is not. It's not the narrative about the beta that they're talking about.
Right. I think they floated that out there to try and deflect what actually happened. Like I said, I don't believe in coincidence. So
you all remember
that fact that one of the and that school also has a lot of military members. So.
Yeah, Timothy McVeigh, when the building blew up in Oklahoma City, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Timothy McVeigh was the one who got hung for that, but every single news report for the first 1 or 2 hours said there was a John Doe. He was Arabian-looking, and all of a sudden disappeared, gone. They never talked about it again.
Right. That's going way back. Listen, I got to tell you, if I could just let me just share. Jim, I told you about this earlier.
Yeah, I drove from Portland. Brett called, and I drove from Portland up to Mount Hood and back, and then over to Tigard while listening to this. So go ahead, Brett.
It's not that long. Thanks. That's incredible. Listen, I happen to turn on the local news. News Talk. It's the station I listen to in general while I'm driving around throughout my day, and they just broken in with breaking news, and the local station cut away to another affiliate, and they were closer to the actual scene in Oregon, and then eventually they cut away and they said, okay, now we're going to cut to a television. And I remember it was Britt Hume, and I was confused. This was all new to me too. I wasn't paying attention yet. I just knew that something had happened. But then, of course, as my little tinfoil brain starts clicking, I start to go, wait a minute, hold on, this is sounding a bit weird. We switched away from radio broadcast, and all of a sudden they cut to a TV feed, so we're hearing that through the radio feed. And all of a sudden, there's a reporter that comes on and interrupts the host of the show who is reporting, these facts. We don't know what's going on. We've heard that there's 10 dead, 15 dead. We're not sure. We don't want to commit to any numbers yet. Please understand these will change. We just know that something has happened. We have heard that it's a code 4, which means the shooter is down. And so this is what they're talking about. Well, all of a sudden, he gets interrupted and says, hold on, I'm being told we have a 17-year-old student who is inside the building on the phone right now. Let's go to him. That is when I went, fucking bullshit. I'm listening to this in my car, and I'm like, how can I not record this? I have to record this. I can't do it. We will never hear it again. So they proceeded to interview this 17-year-old male inside of the school. And he sounded pretty much like this. I'm going to give you an impression. Oh, hey, yeah. No, we're in lockdown. No, they came in and told us just to stay here. Well, okay, so what do you know about the situation? We just know we were told to stay here. Okay. Is everybody in the room that you're in okay? Yeah, we're all good. Okay. So now I've heard it's a small campus. And you're not too far away from where the shootings occurred. So obviously you must have heard shots. Actually, no, we didn't hear anything. And this is where I started to really call bullshit. The guy on the phone said this, and I'm not BSing you. He said, No, we didn't hear any shots. As a matter of fact, I assume they must have been using silencers or they were professionals because we didn't hear anything. The only reason that we knew something was going on is because somebody came in the door and told us to go into lockdown and to stay here. The news host continued to ask him questions, and he continued to answer as though, yeah, man, I'm just waiting to get out of here, man. I need to get to Taco Bell. I'm meeting some buddies at noon. That is exactly how the conversation went.
Yeah, I heard that same thing.
Now, not more than about a half hour to 40 minutes after that, there is another, they've cut away, there's a mishmash of, we're cutting to this station, we're cutting to these people, we're cutting to this feed. So they were jumping around. The station I was listening to was jumping to different news feeds left and right, as many as they could get. And then they would come in and interject with their own thoughts on the issue, being as they're the Portland station and so on and so forth. So here's the one that really got me. So they're talking to, again, a newscaster who has said something about, I've just been told that the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, not the FBI, but the ATF, has sent a contingency out of Portland as of a few minutes ago, and they're on their way to the scene. You hear somebody in the background come in and go, hey, I've got some updates on that ATF situation. You hear him say, okay, hold on for a moment, let me get you on the mic. So he puts him on, he goes, from my understanding, I've just been told that the ATF is already on scene. The host of this particular station said, well, that's interesting because there's no ATF offices anywhere near here. I guess they must have already been in the area doing something. ... That's it. ATF was on scene within minutes to an hour of this happening. And they said it live on the air, and I cannot prove that. I heard it in my car today, and I was screaming, well, quite literally because I'm a freak, but I was screaming, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
And then he started calling me rapidly over
and I did.
And over
I
again.
mean, once I heard it, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So, in other words, the ATF had sent more guys down. I believe that. But what I don't believe is the ATF was just randomly in the area doing something in the area. Nobody will tell us what that is. We'll never hear a word one again about that. But
everybody kept saying, every interview out there kept saying that, well, okay, first of all, run back really quick to Brett's original point was when they broke into the 17-year-old kid on campus, what 17-year-old kid has the phone number to Fox News or whatever is sitting there calling, and all of a sudden Fox News breaks in on this guy's phone?
Well, and
that
secondly, what 17-year-old is in college?
Right.
There's a good
Isn't
question.
that college?
Now, good question. Now, that's a legitimate question. But getting back to what Jim just said, here's the thing. I am in a lockdown situation. People have died.
Right.
I've been told to stay where I'm at. My first inclination is to pick up my cell phone, and being as I don't have the number to the local news station. So I'm going to go on Google. I'm going to look that up. Hold on just a second. I'm going to look that up, and then I'm going to let me start randomly calling these numbers and see if I get a hold of somebody so I can. No, I'm in the school right now. No, you should put me on the air. That happened?
Well, here's the.
I mean, I have no idea. That could have been, some parent, news station saying to anyone out there, does anyone have a phone number to someone who's in the school? I don't know about that.
Quite possibly.
That all kind of that all is like not even remotely in my. I could give two shits less about any of that stuff. What I care about is the fact that they're holding back the fact that this is probably a Muslim terrorist attack right there in the school.
Right.
And ATF might have been on scene because maybe they knew it was going to happen, and they, weren't either weren't quick enough, weren't smart enough, or needed it to happen so that Obama could immediately come on the TV to say, the guns are the problem, and and he had the balls to say, he had the absolute audacity to say that all the states with the strictest gun laws have the least amount of gun deaths.
Right.
Because he doesn't read the Chicago newspaper.
No, he does not read the.
Right.
He's from Chicago too.
He's from
New York.
It's a great state. No, he's from Hawaii.
Oh, that's true. He was born there. I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
I was named four off the top of my head.
Right.
4 states.
Here's the thing: is that we all know when Benghazi happened that the president was the first guy to come out and say, "Oh, it was because of a video." Well, he jumped on this one too, and he came out and said, "Oh, it's because guns are rampant in the United States, and we've got to stop this."
Mhm.
That was his first statement. Now,
Only,
here's the thing: if it comes out that it was a Muslim, if it was a Muslim male that went in and literally asked people, "Are you Christian?" and then when they said yes or no or didn't answer, he shot them. Do you think that our Muslim sympathizing president is going to come out and go, "Guys, I made a mistake"?
No, that's exactly.
Yeah,
No,
right.
exactly.
That's
It's
never
not
going to
gonna-
happen.
It will never happen.
No, never.
Because you
And
know
that's-
damn well he already knows that who it is. It's not like
Of
it's any
course.
Right.
the first
but
one
see,
who was told.
how can you here's the campus. That is the whole campus right there from Google Maps. So how is it that you don't hear nobody hears gunshots? I mean,
By the
I
way-
guess a couple people did. A teacher did come out and say that they heard some gunshots. But it's a community that everyone carries conceals. They hunt in that area. It's a small community. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just used to hearing hunting shots. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
But
see, now
'Cause
that's just
actually,
it.
you know what? This whole thing that you're looking at there, that whole picture is not the community college. No, where the red dot is,
The small little spot.
the small one, that's the college, Umpqua Community College. That little L-shaped building. That's it.
Wow.
Although, what's strange is supposedly there's 3,000 students that go there, so
Well, there's
maybe
probably
it's bigger
like
than
you
that.
know how some have different campuses spread out. Like
No,
Yeah.
they showed the whole campus. No, this looks like the U shape of the whole campus. There's
Yeah,
13
well,
buildings. We know that there's 13 buildings.
Yeah, but
Okay.
up in the middle by itself to the left-hand corner, that's a Southern Oregon Wine Institute.
No, and that, by the way, that is correct. That is a wine institute there. That is correct. I saw this earlier. This actually horseshoes around. You don't have the whole thing in here, but there are other buildings that are involved in the campus. But that being said, it's not the point. I mean, the point is that there was literally, like I said, there was some phone interview with somebody inside one of the buildings saying, "No, I didn't hear any gunshots."
But to
And
Amy's point is that he was getting so Obama gets on TV, and really what his suggestion, without saying it, his suggestion was, we're going to eliminate all guns because we're back here again. And he goes, and then I was here a couple months ago, then I was here a couple months ago, then I was here a couple months ago. And so he's saying that basically the only way to stop this is to eliminate all guns. Period.
Well, I mentioned this on one of Amy's strings earlier. I said, if anybody's noticed, the frequency of these quote-unquote events are coming closer and closer together. The idea is to press the issue and basically you're shoving it inside of a box. This issue is being shoved inside of the mental box. Now people are going to go, and then they're finally going to say, yes, gun control. I was never for it, but now I am. That's what they're pushing for. That is what they're pushing for. And guess what's going to happen? Eventually, these, and I believe staged events, are going to come to a head, and quote-unquote the American people, even gun-loving, constitutional, Second Amendment people, we're going to say, yes, we need some kind of control. Hold on just a second.
ISIS is gonna hit us well before that happens.
Well, I was going to say,
No,
they're going to hit us right after that happens.
No, exactly. We're on the right. You and I are on the same page. Where they're going to take all the guns, and then there's going to be like a year.
And then we're going to be all attacked.
There's going to be a year where there won't be any gun violence. Nobody will die, other than Chicago and Los Angeles and New York and every city they don't report on where there's daily deaths because of guns every day. Those don't get talked about because those don't fit the narrative. But these mass, quote-unquote, mass shootings, they will all go away, and they'll go away for just enough time.
They said today that since 2012, 6,000 shootings have happened just in Chicago. 6,000.
Right.
2,000 in the last 3 years in Chicago.
And if you totaled up the entire death count from these supposed shootings in the last 10 years, you're maybe pushing 100. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, more non-smokers
Well-
died of lung cancer in the last 12 minutes than that.
More people have died in car accidents. Should we just get rid of cars and just take buses
Exactly.
or walk?
But see,
or what?
that's just-
Well, I
it's
think
ridiculous.
Brett. I think I don't discount what you're saying, and I think a lot of this stuff was leading up to this, where now this could very well be a jihad, terrorist attack.
But they'll
But
call
it
that
just
one
looks
lone
like
wolf.
another lone wolf. It's just another just another attack on a college campus. So now we're just so used to it. So now it's the guns, and so I think they were like they were leading everyone to this point. There's a reason why he was allowing radical Muslims to pour over the border through Mexico, and that he was bringing them in through. In from Somalia and from different parts of Africa and stuff that hate us.
So, and I want you guys, all three of you, to respond to this. At the same time, in the Fort Hood shooting, what did our quote-unquote president call that?
Workplace violence.
Oh,
Yeah.
workplace violence. No terrorist act here. No.
No.
You know what this president is going to call this one? Because he can't call it workplace violence because it's a school. He's going to call it a student who was getting bad grades was unhappy. No,
Right.
he was frustrated. He was just mad that it was 4 days
He
into
was
the
bullied.
term.
He was
He
bullied.
was bullied.
He
Right.
was bullied.
He was probably battling his transgender,
Exactly.
disease
Right.
or whatever he has,
Exactly. There was a transgender.
His inner clitoris.
Yeah.
He wanted to use the male restroom. Listen, and honestly,
Yeah.
that's making light of it. But I mean, in all
It is,
seriousness,
but yes.
we have a
Yeah.
president that calls the Fort Hood shooting a workplace violence incident, and within less than an hour and a half, he's coming out and calling for gun control after this one. And as I put in my statement on the blast a little bit ago, there has never been a weapon, I mean a spear and an arrow, let alone a gun, none of those have ever stood up and jumped into somebody else's body, killing them.
Right.
None of them have ever done that.
If they do, then mine is defective. So
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
If my gun starts floating across the room and starts shooting holes in the wall, I might start thinking there's something weird going on. But
Yeah.
my gun so far, whenever I put it down,
Right.
it doesn't move until I touch it again. It doesn't. I have to physically manipulate it to move from the left to the right or up into the air.
You're a silly man.
It's unbelievable how fast. Well, and again, I call the liberal mind diseased, and it's unbelievable how fast gun control nuts just jump on it and go, "Oh, we've got to stop it." Yeah, because if we get rid of those, and as I said today, we are officially at war today. If in fact this was an attack on Christians, if you guys don't recognize the implications of that,
They said that one of the girls in that room, who didn't die, so she must not have said she was Christian, said he lined them up against the wall. He asked them if they were a Christian or not. If they said yes, they got shot in the head. So I would imagine that as he went down the line, most people weren't Christians. If they said they were not a Christian, they got shot in the leg.
Right.
Right.
Or if they didn't answer. And listen, I mean, honestly, this is going to sound weird, but I certainly hope that recounting of what was going on becomes the reality of this story, because this president needs to shut his mouth, and he needs to stop being a Muslim sympathizer, and he needs to start protecting America as it was founded.
Well, I could tell you what he's going to say if this turns out to be a Muslim who is killing Christians. He's going to say, well, Christians did that back in the Crusades.
Right, of course. He's going to turn it somehow.
He's already said that.
They did that 6,000 years ago.
I am blocking every person who comes out and says that shit on any one of my threads, and they talk about, the American Indians, they didn't have a choice. You know what? Bite me.
Bye. Bye. Unfriend me, please.
And that's exactly it. By the way, for those people that type those types of statements that you're blocking, and I'm proud of you for blocking them. Those people don't even realize that you wouldn't even be able to sit there and type that had we not done what we did in historical reference. Listen, the fact that we are where we are at today as a society isn't perfect. It's not perfect. Holy crap, there's a ton wrong with it.
So
But it's the best society on earth.
Absolutely.
the shooter's name is Chris Harper Mercer. Internet trolls have altered his profile to say he's a conservative.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't
Listen,
announced anyone
Doesn't
yet.
matter.
No,
Where
they
are
haven't.
you reading
Well,
I'm
you
reading
guys-
it, the Gateway Pundit, 2 minutes ago.
listen, let's read between the lines, folks. The fact that we do not have baby pictures of
Black-looking guy, black-looking with kind of a Muslim black-looking bald-headed guy with glasses.
basically nothing has been confirmed yet. There has been no
Yeah.
official statement on the shooter.
So that's the third
there's a
person that they're bringing out.
There's a reason. There's a reason why there isn't. Because
They're coming up with
can't-
their story. They're trying to figure
they
out their
can't-
story.
Oh my God! If it is a Muslim, what do you think the American people are going to do?
Oh.
What do you think the Catholics and the Christians and the people who are basically okay? We founded it wrong. Sorry, we shot in it. Okay, good God, it sucks.
Let
It's
me just
over with.
say that in Afghanistan, they're hearing he was a Muslim. Okay, we're not hearing that,
Well,
but
I'll tell
they
you
heard it.
this right now. I bet you they're getting a more pure form of news than we are.
Of course.
Well, I can tell you this. Amy's getting a more pure form of news than we are because she knows somebody who knows things.
Oh,
I just don't believe in coincidence at all.
I don't either.
No.
I don't at
So
all.
No way.
whether or not it's the whole, he's on psychotropic drugs that they could manipulate his mind to say that he needed to, do jihad. I don't really give a shit why he needs I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad he's worm fodder. But it all comes back to, you're right, Brett. It's all a ruse somehow, some way to try and take away our Second Amendment rights. And yeah, Crystal probably so that we can get attacked later on, because that's exactly what his goal is.
No. We have to be, in order for the United States to conform with the goal of the world government, we have to be put in
We
a
have to be
position
destroyed.
we have to. Well, listen,
Right.
the American people will never vote for these things. We have to be compelled to do things.
Right.
And the compilation there, or the compelling, comes from fear. And it comes from incidents that are beyond our control. You can't control a random human being walking into a mall or into a school or into a movie theater. You can't control these things. You're out having a nice evening out, and all of a sudden people are getting shot. Well, gosh, I go to movies. I go into schools. I go to the mall. Oh, that could have been me. I could have been there. Well, yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. But the thing is, you are going to give away everything that can protect you from that reality. I mean,
Right.
it's ludicrous. We talk about we protect those people in that country from dictators, because those dictators are treating those people so poorly. And how do they
Yeah.
treat them so poorly? Those people don't have a single gun to defend themselves. They don't have a way to fight back against the armies that are put up against them. The blessing that we have in this country is that we are an armed population. And the second that goes away, we will have a moment of peace. And when I say moment, we're talking like a year or two. And then it will all start, but it will not be theater shootings or mall shootings. It's going to be a jihadist movement against the United States.
Yep.
We have to be taken down and brought to the level of the rest of the world before we can ultimately be controlled as a people. That's it.
Mhm.
I'm done. I'm not saying another word tonight.
Anybody else want to talk about
Good
this?
job. Very good job.
All right, now that the Pope is gone, he's gone back. There were some things that he kind of got caught doing. He did change. He listened to everybody, and when he went to the store, he did kind of lean towards capitalism once he's got his hands on some Oreos. Just saying.
Hey, listen, if a cookie can't help the world feel better, I don't know what will.
Well, and then there's another picture that he didn't know he got caught looking.
Oh, no.
That's
Yeah.
a Photoshop. That's a
Oh, no.
Photoshop.
Oh, man.
That's the Pope.
Yeah, that's a Photoshop.
That probably is a vote.
I'm no fan of the Pope, but that's a Photoshop.
Yeah. Not a-
This is not a Photoshop.
What does
You
it
think
say?
about that.
It's all blurry.
Duck
I can't
Dynasty.
read it.
Duck Dynasty's Willie Robertson supports Donald Trump at campaign event. I do love me some Trump.
Of course he does.
Quack,
Of
quack.
course he supports
That
him.
happens to me
Who doesn't?
sometimes, Crystal, too.
Why would you say of course he does, Crystal?
Because he's the duck guy. You know about him.
What?
Of course he supports Trump. Who
Well,
else is he going to support on that ticket?
I would have thought that he would have supported Bobby Jindal, kind of from his hometown.
Or Ben Carson, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah, or
Good-
Ben Carson.
the good
I don't know.
Christians, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the celebrities go together.
Hey Jim, just in recollection, if we're going back a couple years, and I apologize to the both of you ladies, do you remember maybe a couple? No, I mean this because you guys weren't on the show at the time.
For
Before
what?
we had added, Jim, do you remember we had talked about we had mentioned that the attack on the Christianity aspect of our society and our culture was coming.
I don't remember because we've mentioned that like 95 times.
So many
95,000 times. But I mean, we were speaking very much. I mean, you know what? Things progress in a very slow fashion, so you tend not to notice them. But it just occurred to me just a minute ago. I was like, wait a minute. We were talking about this type of thing happening like 3 years ago.
Right.
And here-
no,
and here
it's
it
all
is.
been. Yeah.
Well, and you have idiots who say, see, you have nothing to worry about. You still have your rights.
Right.
I'm
Right.
like, well, yeah, right now, but that doesn't mean that we will, and that doesn't mean that this stuff doesn't, erode our rights. And just because we fought back against them and we won doesn't mean that they weren't trying to take away our rights. I mean,
Mhm.
I cannot stand the moronic argument, well, they haven't done it so far.
I know, right? Well,
Okay,
by,
that's because we've been fighting for 7 years against them. That's why,
by the way,
7 years.
by the way,
Yes.
I
by the
love
way,
it.
Amy, the people that say, well, they haven't done it so far, those are the people that are looking at the picture that is presented to them, and they are not seeing the chips in the wall.
Yeah.
They're not
Right.
seeing that little tink, it's gone. Tink, it's gone, because that's how these things work. It's an erosion. It is
Yep.
not a dam breaking open and flooding the entire valley, because that would be too obvious. You cannot manipulate and move forward that way. You
Well, the
have
other-
to just
yeah.
keep taking a piece.
And the other thing that they do is that they give you the worst case scenario, right? So they were trying to
Right.
take away all automatic. They were calling everything an automatic weapon. Everything
Mhm.
automatic weapons are not legal anywhere other than the military. So automatic weapons have to be banned. Oh, everyone's up in a big uproar, big uproar. Okay, so then we're just gonna do semi-automatic weapons. Almost every single pistol and rifle is a semi-automatic weapon. So no, big outcry about that. Okay, so now we're just going to ban so you can only have 5 shots instead of 10. So
Right.
now it's like so okay, so now everyone okay, well that sounds reasonable. So now you still have 5 shots. How many more do you need? Well, I don't know if I'm being jumped by a gang of 10 angry people, maybe I need more than 5. Hello.
Right.
So now
Hey,
it
Lonnie.
seems okay. See, they present the worst case, and then they scale it back. You still didn't. They still won. You
Now,
think
Amy-
you won, and you didn't.
Amy, it's a game of numbers, and you're dead right, because clip size became an issue. I mean, the handgun.
Right.
I liked 17 in my clip and 1 in the chamber. That is a good number for me. Okay. Yeah, and you can buy those still here in the state of Oregon. I mean, maybe not tomorrow, but I mean, right now you can. So here's the thing: it's a game of numbers, and trust me, there are people sitting down that are looking at this control that they're trying to bring. If we have 10,000 soldiers with semi-automatic weapons coming at, let's just say, patriots that are looking to defend the Constitution, how many rounds do they get off? How many people do they take before we can overrun them? It's a numbers game. If we limit clips, they can only shoot 5. Now, they're going to have a second to change a clip, and it doesn't take a long time to change a clip, but it's just long enough to not make it to the next clip.
What did you call it? A game of what?
It's a game of numbers. It's a game of
I
numbers.
thought it was a Game of Thrones. Sorry.
Oh,
That was a
no,
big
no,
joke.
that's a whole different thing.
No.
Now,
Different.
Jim, to your point, if you have 700 archers and 3 guys with swords coming at you, in
There you
that
go.
case, if all you had were like plows and pitchforks, you might not make it as
Yeah.
far as the guys with the arrows and the swords.
So-
that would be the correlation.
Before this gets too far away from us on the news cycle, what do you guys think about this? Planned Parent or the Huffington Post put out a big story about 2 days ago. Planned Parenthood should file the mother of all defamation suits.
I saw this.
What do
Unbelievable.
you think?
I would. My first thought is the Huffington Post can go bite themselves.
Yeah.
That's my first thought.
What do you think, Amy?
I don't even take it serious.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. That's a joke.
it's an absolute joke, and
I
they should
agree
be
There has to
with
be two
Huffington.
sides.
they should be slapped down by the courts if they even attempt it.
I
That'd be
agree
fine.
with the Huffington Post.
Tell
think-
us, Jim. Tell us,
and
Jim, why.
I think the
You're
plan.
dying
I
to
think
tell us.
I am. Planned Parenthood should file the mother of all defamation suits. And
Funny
here's
the
why.
word mother is used.
Here's why. Yeah, good point.
Mother.
If it goes to court and Planned Parenthood is the one who brings it to court,
Yep.
every single one of those people in that video has to come up and testify under oath.
Yep.
And every single clip and movie clip and film that those people did has to be entered into evidence and watched and analyzed. And in the court of law, it will be proven that these guys did not alter it and that Planned Parenthood was doing what the tape said, and it'd be settled by court and they would be thrashed.
Yeah,
Right.
because when things are settled by court, then it's
Well,
done,
you know what
right?
I'm saying.
That doesn't.
So are you saying
No,
are you,
all I'm saying is that legally, all of a sudden, in a court of law, it's
Right.
like, hey, it was just
Right.
proven
It's all
that these
proved.
things were not altered and that these dingbats were doing that, which is
Right.
against the law.
Mhm.
And so that's why I think that they should bring it.
you know what? And
But
that's
here's
a
the
great
thing.
point. Great point.
They won't bring it. They
course not.
won't.
Yeah.
They won't.
For that
Here's
same
the
reason.
point. Right. Here's the point. Huffington Post is saying you guys should sue their ass off. Well, there's a reason why they won't, and haven't.
They
No,
don't
but it might scare off more people trying to expose them because they don't want to be sued.
Yeah.
Even
I-
though a lawsuit would never come about.
Well,
You know what I mean?
and by the way, and Jim's exactly right on this one. Hey, listen, you guys go ahead and bring this to. I mean, there's already a fire on top of you, and what you guys are trying to do right now is put it out with buckets of water. Shit, you're trying to put it out with an eyedropper, and that ain't working. So you know what? By all means, bring a lawsuit. Let's
And these
really
guys-
light this thing off.
These
Let's bring
people
this
who
to
did
light.
the videos, they got the backing and the money from all of the Jay Sekulow and all those guys would love to defend this thing in court.
Did you
Yeah.
guys see Trey Gowdy destroy the Planned
Yeah.
Parenthood douchebag?
It'd be fun
Yeah.
to see, I'll tell you. Oh man,
Yeah.
she was just God, that was one. Oh, I firmly.
Did you get to see it, Crystal?
No,
I've-
I didn't see it.
I
I
posted on my
firmly-
page. I have a few minutes. Take a look
I've-
at it.
I will.
I firmly believe that I am the lesser of the two sexes. Don't get me wrong. I would say that I would let a woman just tell me, just you know what, just Brett, and I'd be like, okay, all right, I'll do that. It's fine. I am right there. I'm too stupid to move forward with any argument when it comes to arguing with a woman, and I get that. However, when watching Trey Gowdy take her apart, I was like, that man.
Brett was taking notes. Wait,
I was taking notes. This is how you
Get
do
an
it.
idea.
Oh, this is how you do it. And by the way, I mean, her self-righteous indignation came through in ways that they're indescribable. And he
Wow.
he led her so well into the trap, and it was not even a trap. He led her
Yeah.
back into the truth, the light. And
yeah,
she
but
Wow.
him, I gotta say that Trey Gowdy and every single one of them blew it in one respect.
and I know,
Because they said, she testified, we did not sell tissue for a profit. They need to stop and say, okay, but did you sell tissue?
at all.
Because what you're trying to
who's
say
to
is,
say
hey,
you
we
made
didn't
a
make a profit off it.
Right.
Yeah, they're a
We're nonprofit.
non-profit.
Exactly.
So
By
she
the
was
way-
telling the truth, but they wouldn't
Right.
ask the one simple question. Did
Right.
you
But we
guys
don't know
know
if they did or not. We don't know if they did or not. They just
Did
didn't
you
show it
guys
in that.
know? Did you guys know that Planned Parenthood, the nonprofit organization that gets, I don't know, $100 million in funding from the taxpayer, they actually made a profit last year. And I'm not sure how that works. I read an article on the internet. I don't know.
Me
Since
neither.
the
Isn't
head
it
of it
free
makes-
to go there or something? I don't get it.
She
It
makes
does. They made
$600,000
money.
salary. That woman makes
Right.
$600,000 salary.
A year. And by the
Wow.
way, do you know why she makes that kind of money? Because she is the face that sits there and lies to a congressional panel. She
Right.
is a professional liar. And by the way, she's very good because
Yeah.
she didn't break under.
Well,
Listen-
no, but she started stammering. As soon as you're stammering, Gowdy
No.
has you. He
I
tore her
agree.
up.
I agree.
Mhm.
He was definitely smarter than she'll ever be, and her
But I
arguments were
posted-
weaker than his questions.
Wow.
I took that same video that Amy played, and I actually was a little upset at the headline on it because about 5 different blogs had different headlines, and there's one blog called Young Cons. I hate people who lie on their headlines and who do clickbait. And then when I put it on our Facebook page, I said, look, I agree with what Trey Gowdy did, but I hate this freaking headlines.
Yeah.
They said Trey Gowdy made her
Should
admit
to,
that they
Right.
did. I'm like, she didn't admit to that. No,
Yeah.
Trey Gowdy did a great job, but you don't need to lie about it to get me to watch.
Right. If you read between the lines, I can see where they could make that. They could invent that statement based off of what she said. However, it's a really weak assertion of her actual statement.
Hey,
It just is.
Amy, are we going to get Steve on the show ever? Did you say?
Yeah, he's starting up a new network, so he said he just wanted to put it on hold until this new network, so then we can come out and promote the new network.
Okay, because our guests from now on, when we have them, I don't want them on for a whole hour. People don't want to be on for a whole hour, but 15, 20 minutes. And I did some in-depth study here because I was very curious. I told you about
the woman in red. Yes, we know.
the woman in
Anyway.
red. Right? I was like smitten with the woman in red.
Oh,
Do you know
no.
who that is? Do you know who
Who
it
is
is?
No, who is it? You asked
I
that
don't know.
last
It's
time.
Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian.
Here's the thing. All 3 of them were doing a freaking commercial. He was doing, this is one of his commercials, along with the girl and along with that other guy. They all pretended like they were celebrity chefs, and they got the food in front of them,
Right.
and it was a commercial for a celebrity chef show. That's all it was. Simple.
Right.
And this whole time I put all the stories together. Oh yeah, so she's married to that douche old guy for the money, and they're in Italy. No, it was a commercial.
A set.
Yeah, it's a TV set.
You should be a crime scene investigator. You're really
I
good.
should.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Hey,
But you
and
know
I
what?
don't know. I don't know how I can.
Is on point.
I
would
don't
only-
know how I'll ever fit this in other than just do it now. But I thought this was funny.
Oh.
Look at that. You think
Ah,
I'm
there you
crazy?
go.
Oh, that's great. I can
Yeah.
buy
My
into that.
daughter.
I can buy into that. I can
Fun.
buy into
Fun.
that.
Funny,
That is
funny.
great. Yep.
True that.
Yeah.
They don't call me Crazy Chris for nothing.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's pretty much our show tonight. I'll bring up one other thing I saw on Facebook that was just kind of interesting, since the Christians are all getting bashed. This is kind of a liberal head scratcher, because how many people in the world have that door in their home?
Right.
Says, the 6-panel door became popular in the 1700s. The design of the door's top 4 panels is a cross. The bottom 2 are the open pages of the Bible. Liberals' heads are exploding. They've got them in their home, and that was the design of
They're
it.
changing all their doors. All
I
of them.
know, right?
Isn't it
Yes.
funny?
By the way,
yeah.
do you know who put that meme up?
Who?
It's a local company, Bob's Doors. And so anyway, they've got
Yeah.
a special going right now. If you'd like to get over to Bob's Doors,
Yeah.
Portland, Oregon.
Do you guys
Portland,
remember
Oregon, just call
I'm changing all my doors out. I'm getting those doors.
1-800-972.
So last week, before we go, last week, you remember how was it a week or two ago, and I was kind of talking about how my wife they wanted to go hang out with these people and those people and do stuff, and I'm like, look, I didn't really want to, right? Not a lot in common.
Antisocial.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I said, well, basically what it is, I don't like people. I just don't,
Yeah.
I don't like people, right? And so I was telling a customer of mine about this today.
You just
And
work with people for a living.
Yeah, they're just laughing. and so they handed me this thing that he had sitting on his desk. See that picture of that old man? He's an
Yeah.
old golfer. And I'll read it really quick. He says, my customer goes, you know, this reminded me of you. He goes, why don't you read it out loud so that Mary Kay can hear it too? And it's called A Man with No Enemies. Meet Walter Barnes. All golfers should live so long as to become this kind of an old man, or this kind of old man. Toward the end of the Sunday service, the minister asked, how many of you have forgiven your enemies? 80% held up their hands. The minister then repeated the question. All responded this time except one man, Walter Barnes. Well, Mr. Barnes, are you not willing to forgive your enemies? I don't have any, he gruffly replied. Well, Mr. Barnes, that is very unusual. How old are you? 98, he replied. The congregation stood and clapped their hands. Oh, Mr. Barnes, would you please come down in front and tell us how a person can live to be 98 years old and not have any enemies in the world? The old golfer trotted down to the aisle, stopped in front of the pulpit, turned to face the congregation, and simply said, I outlived all them assholes. Then he returned to his seat.
Oh, that's
How did
great.
I know that was coming?
And by the way, to Jim's aversion to hanging out with other people, I did run into him this last weekend, and
Out and about.
we actually ate food together.
Oh,
this
we
weekend.
did.
Wow.
We
Bread, I
did.
forgot.
We actually did. We didn't break
See how
bread because
quickly I forgot?
he actually scared me out of the bun that I was using to eat my meat with. So
I told
we
him,
didn't
I
actually
said,
break
look,
Not here.
I said, Brett, you, your daughter, and your double chin can sit right here.
I know, right?
But if
Yeah.
it were me, and it is me, I would see I'm doing without the bun.
And he did too. Yeah, just a big old plate of pork.
Wow.
We had our company picnic.
We did.
Anyways, all right. So we covered on everything. We did a quick, good little show. Anybody want to get something off their chest before we go?
Only thing I will say is that if anybody we were like that in Roseburg today, we were not. In all seriousness, I just think there's something fishy about it, just like the other shootings that we've had. So no disrespect. I guess that's all I'm saying.
And it's not that nobody died. We believe people
No,
died.
no,
We
and
believe
I
it's a
absolutely-
tragedy. We believe that there's more going on
It is
to
a
it. Like,
tragedy, and
But I don't believe they're victims of that shooter. I think they're victims of something bigger, and that
Right.
gets into a whole
that's the
gray
sad
area.
part. Yeah.
Yep.
and Amy, if I'm going to speak for Amy, thinks that the whole thing that's bigger is it's simple. It's not a government plan. It's a Muslim plan, but the government is covering it up.
And that, quite frankly,
Did I say that right?
I
Might
don't
be right,
discount.
Amy.
I agree with that too. That's a very solid possibility.
Amy can't hear me, otherwise she wouldn't have agreed with that.
No, it's true. I was just reading the breaking news on Fox too. They're naming the same thing, Chris Harper Mercer. Suddenly he went from being 20 years old to 26 years old.
Oh.
And his profile
big
shows
difference.
conservative Christian, but he loves punk music.
Right, of course.
And I'm sure
No
that the
conservatives
weapon,
love punk music.
because I'm sure that the gun, it was actually he legally purchased the gun. I'm sure that's going to come
Yeah.
out.
Oh, it will
was a
be.
legally purchased gun. It wasn't
By
one of these.
By the way, they introduced that legally purchased gun in the last incident, and that's going to be a motif coming forward because
And
Yeah.
that's why Obama says we shouldn't have any guns.
right.
You know what? We should have no rules, in fact. Everybody should be allowed to buy one. That way I can protect myself when I'm in that movie theater.
Yep.
When those people decide to attack me, you know?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
by the way, I've said that for years now. I said it should not be an option to own a gun in this country. It should be a requirement. Quite the opposite of what we're trying to do.
It should be mandatory.
Everybody
watched-
has a gun.
And if
Did
you
you all
don't, you're
watch
at your
Dana
own
Lash?
risk.
Did you all watch Dana Lausch on her video? Moms carry guns.
No,
Did
I
you
didn't
see
watch
that,
it.
Crystal?
I saw it, but I didn't watch it.
Okay, it was really, really, really a good one. Not only because I'm in love with her, but it was actually good. And now
She
she's
actually
getting an
annoys- She
internet.
actually kind of annoys me.
He's in love with all women that look kind of manly-ish.
A little bit.
Yeah. Very
You
masculine
know what?
women. That's
There's a motif right there.
Except,
I didn't think about that.
Wait,
Oh,
she does
my
have
word.
a little bit of a Adam's apple thing going,
They
doesn't
all
she?
do.
Oh,
all the ones
no.
that you're
Oh,
attracted to.
no.
Well,
okay.
And by the way, it
So-
used to be Danny Lausch. Danny Lausch. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
oh my God.
Daniel.
Daniel Lausch. I'm sorry. Yeah.
What?
Okay. All right.
what are
We'll
the-
leave that alone. We'll leave that alone.
What are the bets though that Ann? What's their name? Liberals or mental? Ann
Ann Coulter.
Coulter. What
Yeah.
are
Oh,
the
yeah.
bets that she was a man?
Oh no. Well, she still is. She's
Yeah.
Right?
she's pre-op.
Just has a wig on.
No, she's pre-op. I mean, come on, let's admit it.
Her
if you
neck-
She's
listen-
pre-op.
By the way,
She's pre-op.
here,
Yeah.
hey, go out and buy my new book. Right now, that's how she sounds. She does
Her
sound.
neck-
I actually.
Her neck is this long, I swear. That long of a neck.
She's half giraffe.
Yeah. And that big old thing hanging out her Adam's apple.
the goiter.
Yeah.
And by the
We're-
way, I mean, I do kind of like her though.
I know, but she said she's going with Trump, and she said you could abort babies in the White House for all I care as long as they secure that border. That's what she said.
That's brutal, but okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a fair trade-off? I mean, really?
I
mean,
don't know.
Right.
Anyways. All right, we're gonna close her out. Hopefully, it's not too loud.
All right.
Oh, what did I do? Oh, nothing.
The
I got it on.
party's over.
Party's over.
Over.
Hey, just turn out the lights. Bam.
They must end. And next week, we will have a phone that works. A phone number people can call in like crazy.
People can call in and tell us that we're wrong, and we're going to say, why, caller? Why?
No, there's not enough time for all these
All
callers.
right, we're done.
Crazy, crazy.